What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and we are talking the Emmys. Emmy Awards. It's Emmy time. I'm already doing the Emmys. Actually, I've already done drama series, actor, actress, supporting actor, supporting actress. You can check out those videos. They already exist for this current season. We're breaking into comedy now. I'm breaking in. I'm doing a little bit of comedy. I'm doing a little bit of stand-up. Click like and subscribe because I'm not going to be any good at it. But at least if you like and subscribe, it'll validate my non-hilarity. This is best comedy series. So we're going to build a top 7. They don't have as many qualifying series in the comedy race as they do in drama. So everything lost a nomination, which is so disappointing because I'm the kind of person that wants to expand and reward excellence. I hate the fact, I always feel like I'm trimming my list down. Maybe it's because of the amount of things that I watch, the amount of TV that I watch. I actually see everything. I see more than any Emmy voter. I'm willing to put that down on paper as a bet. I think I have watched more television than any of the Emmy voters. So, yeah, it becomes hard for me to pare it down, and I'm like, I have to only pick 5. Damn it. And for this category, we have to pick 7 series. So we're building 7. It's pretty easy, actually. We're gonna do this. It's not gonna be that long of a video. I'll talk about maybe some other people that could spoil, because that 7th spot is kind of up in the air, but I think we've got a solid 6. So kicking it off, I'll give the first spot to Hacks. I think Hacks is likely, it could win. It has the could win vibe this year. It's got a really well-reviewed 4th season. It has excellent timing, ending right as, the consideration period ends. So it'll be fresh in people's mind. It's definitely going to get an actress and supporting actress nomination, probably supporting actor, maybe a second supporting actress. Some people will have another supporting actress nomination in there. Could get some guest nominations. So it's a pretty powerhouse show. I think it's an easy slot for first place. So in second place, number 2, not really the second place, number 2, getting the second slot is The Studio. I think is pretty much a lock for nomination at this point. It's the hot new kid on the block for this season, for this awards season. The hottest of the hot new kids. Apple's going to get their nomination. At least here, I think it'd probably get an actor nomination. Might get maybe supporting actor, supporting actress. Those are kind of crowded races, and the fact that we lost a nomination makes it a little bit harder for Ike Barinholtz and Catherine O'Hara to get in, but we'll see. It has a lot of guest star potential for all the people who popped up in one episode. There are a lot of people, and they have plenty of potential for guest star in a comedy series. So it's looking pretty good for itself. It doesn't have a lead actress, though. Everybody submitted in supporting other than Seth. Number 3, The Bear, a previous winner in this category. The Bear is also a strong performer. Jeremy Allen White's looking good for actor. AO for actress. It'll probably get at least 1 supporting actor, 1 supporting actress nomination. That's pretty strong. And even though the last season wasn't quite as beloved as the previous 2, one of the things that The Bear benefits from is that it drops its next season during the voting period. So not only are you thinking about the last one, but you're also hearing the hype of the current season. It's kind of a really smart play. And it's one of the things that I think benefits the show, and why The Bear does so well with nominations is because while people are voting, there's a bear fever pitch. And it's the only thing that really seems to have a fever pitch at that time. So, presuming, of course, the 4th season is good, it's also could incredibly backfire, because if The Bear becomes, for some reason, if they trip and fall and Bear season 4 is awful, it could absolutely torpedo their chances in some categories. People could be like, oh, I don't want to touch that. Because, even within an awards period, if something becomes radioactive, it becomes radioactive whether it was good or not. If you become the film that had the problem, or has a problem actor in it or something like that, then suddenly people go, oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, I want to, but I can't because of that thing. Now we know too much, you know? So, yeah, it's possible, but we're just gonna err on the side of unlikeliness. Number 4, Abbott Elementary, I think is still gonna get a series nomination. There are enough people who are gonna be old school Emmy voters that are gonna try to cling on to the couple of chances they have to celebrate network television, which is like Kathy Bates and Abbott Elementary. Because there really aren't there aren't a lot of network. There used to be way more network TV shows in the race. Now it's all like streaming and cable and shit. So we're gonna go with Abbott Elementary for 4th place. For 5th place, I do still think Only Murders in the Building is a strong player for show. I don't know what's gonna happen with actors. It's starting to get a little long in the tooth. I don't know if next season might be the time where I would start considering it sort of like up in the air. It kind of depends. Only Murders goes from season to season. I think it was a well-received season. Again, this is another show that has a lot of potential for guest performers and for supporting performers. In addition to the fact that we still have Steve, Marty, and Selena, who could all get into lead, it has a lot of potential for nominations if people vote for it. I think it's still a strong contender. And for number 6, honestly, What We Do in the Shadows, the final season, that final episode, it's been nominated previously in series. I have no reason to think that it's not going to get nominated. So I'm going to go ahead and consider and lock that in and not give it the final 7th question mark spot. So that final spot could go a couple different ways. We do have Agatha All Along floating around. It's possible Disney could get that in a series. It was liked enough. I don't know that it was liked enough to get a nomination, but it could. I think that series would be happy if Kathryn Hahn got a nomination for actress. Poker Face, Peacock has yet to really prove themselves as a contender. I didn't predict Day of the Jackal for anything because Peacock is still trying to really build their awards consideration. They need a slate of contenders, and while Poker Face is really well liked, it didn't really break in its first season. It's most likely going to get nominations in guest categories. Natasha Lyonne has a hard time getting into the actress race with one less nomination. She just does. And if she can't get in, would it get a series nomination? I don't think so. Peacock doesn't really have another comedy series here that would make sense. They canceled Laid, so they're not going to do a push for that. There's English Teacher, which debuted. I think, if anything, that's a play for Brian Jordan Alvarez. There are, obviously the other network shows are just so unlikely. I mean, I know people would die if Ghosts got a nomination here because there is a contingent that has been talking about and pleading and begging for Ghosts to get Emmy recognition. So if the 7th spot went to Ghosts, there'd be so many people who'd be happy. They wouldn't even care what show got snubbed. They'd just be like, oh my God, Ghosts finally got a nomination from the Emmys. But Georgia and Mandy's not going to get nominated. Happy's Place, none of the new series. Even St. Dennis Medical, which I like a lot, I don't think has a shot at an Emmy nomination coming on network television. HBO does have The Rehearsal, which is an interesting, but it sort of isn't a traditional comedy. But then again, neither was Jury Duty. So The Rehearsal is an interesting choice to come along, maybe. They also have The Righteous Gemstones in its final season, but the Emmy voters have yet to embrace Righteous Gemstones. So I don't know that they necessarily will for the final season. I would love for them to. I think that would be fantastic if they did. Netflix has too many fucking comedies. I'm sorry, but they do. It's one of the things, like, I want to jump in on some of these other people, and they don't talk about it enough. Netflix has too many comedies, and they're all new, and they're having to submit them all at, like, the same level. You can't push one over the other because you're just going to piss off the creators, and they pick them all up. So they keep saying that we're going to get, the Kristen Bell and Adam Brody's series, Nobody Wants This, is just going to sweep the Emmys. And it's like, Okay, so that's one take, but they also picked up A Man on the Inside for a second season. They also picked up Running Point for another season. They also have The Residents. They have the Four Seasons, which got picked up for another season. Those are all competing in this category. They're all new. They can't show favoritism to one of them because they don't know if any of them work. So it's not like having a series that's previously been nominated in this category where you're like, well, this is our juggernaut. Like Hulu can kick everything aside. FX and Hulu can just go to The Bear, and they don't have to campaign English Teacher as much as The Bear, for example, or Adults. I don't even know if Adults quite barely made the qualifying with its pilot. So they don't have to do that because The Bear makes sense, and so does Only Murders. They're proven, tried and true formula, proven things, so they can actually give those more money and run the campaign for shows that they know will get Emmy nominated. Netflix has a shit ton of new shows that they picked up for a second season that they don't know if they're going to get nominated again. That they don't know how Emmy voters will respond to it, so they have to campaign them all equally and give them the same sort of reaction time, which means they all have variably the same chance. There's no reason that Nobody Wants This is necessarily ahead of A Man on the Inside or Four Seasons or The Residents or, and there are also returning shows like Survival of the Thickest, which, if they're planning on keeping that around, they're probably going to want to campaign at least Michelle Buteau and try to keep that series forward motion. They have Cobra Kai in its final run. So they have other things they have to campaign in this category. Netflix almost has an embarrassment of riches to the point where it could backfire. And I don't know. So, Amazon has overcompensating, which could end up with a series nomination here. Maybe it's getting well reviewed and it did kind of land at the right time. So that's a possibility. But where my head's at for this and where I'm going to go with the last spot for the nomination is Shrinking. I think the second season of Shrinking was well received. I think it has enough opportunity for nominations across several categories that I think Shrinking is going to get the nomination here. It may be a little bit hard to pick who gets the nomination out of an ensemble, especially when you go into the supporting categories, because it has such a broad ensemble and everybody's written really well. But it's one of those things that feels like an ensemble nomination or a series nomination. So I'm going to go with Shrinking for the 7th spot. But anyway, let me know what you think, what show you pick. Yeah, I think it's possible that Netflix picks up acting nominations, but in the series category, I think you're going to have people who are fans of different shows voting for those shows. And with equal campaigns, I don't know if one's going to necessarily rise above the others. But fans of something that's in its second season, like Shrinking, which was recognized a little bit in its first season, yeah, it could get nominated. So that's it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I will see you guys on the other side.